Hey Panda, might be the last time you see this in one piece. So yeah, as you saw in the intro, this is Red Panda Mining's Radeon VII, and probably one of the first ones he ever actually bought. So he's definitely ROI'd probably 2 or 3 times on this card. Unfortunately, it died about a year or 2 ago. It's just been sitting. This is not just any regular Radeon. This is their AMD's 50th anniversary version of the Radeon. All the nice red everywhere. So what we're going to do today, since this has the infamous code 43, we're going to put it on a test bench, just test it real quick, maybe see if we can reflash the BIOS, although I doubt that's probably going to fix it. I have an idea what the problem is, but it might be out of my skill set, and we're going to kind of jerry-rig something together, possibly to fix it, or just burn it up. I don't know. So let's get it on a test bench and see what it does first. Okay, so I got it all set up on the test bench. Radeon 7 is all plugged in. We're running it off of one of Rondi's Reptech boards that he loaned me. Regular server power supply breakout. Going through a PMD device so we can keep an eye on the wattage control, and then just a screen so we can see what's going on. So let's turn it on and get some initial information. Okay, fans do start up on it. We do have the LEDs as well, so we are at least getting power to the card itself. Let's give it a few minutes to get booted up and get into Hive, and let's see what it reports. Okay, so we are booted up in HiveOS. Let's take a look at the PMD first, and if we bounce here, GPU is idling at about 11 watts, and most of that is probably just those 3 fans running at, what, 40-50% regular. Let's keep switching around here. Okay, PCIE 1, which is the riser itself, 5 watts. PCIe 2 is both of these connectors on the top here, PCIe power. And those are pulling about another 5 or 6 watts. So that's all she's doing for idle. We can see we're in Hive. And if we actually look on Hive itself, it shows it up as a Radeon 7, but no memory. Doesn't show the 16 gigs of VRAM in there, and no other settings. So let's try BIOS flash and see what happens. ROM flashing okay. Now reboot. If I click on here, we can see it's basically the same information, so I don't have high hopes on this. Let's give it a minute for it to finish rebooting and see if anything changes. So we finished the boot. It literally just started up again. You can see here's the ROM flashing and no miner is set from the reboot, and the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. It's not seeing the memory on it. So at this point, I think it's time to do a teardown. So let me get the test rig out of the way, get the card off of the test rig, and we'll bring it on down here, open it up, and do a few little diagnostics to it. And before we tear into it, look at it. Panda hasn't even ever opened this up once. This seal is still actually there on the back. Okay, so on the back we can see there are no BIOS switches, so unfortunately we can't switch over. Hopefully it's not a bad BIOS switch. So let's keep tearing down. Okay, so we got it torn apart. Now on the Radeon 7s, if you notice, they don't use regular thermal paste. They actually use this lithium pad or whatever it is, a graphite pad. You can see a little bit left there on the die itself. You can see the main die plus the 4 memory silicons right around it. First inspection, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so we did populate. That's interesting. Did this line up that way? Yeah, it did. What's interesting is they actually put a thermal pad where there's no VRMs. That's interesting. Talk about overkill. But, okay, cool. Even the pads, they're not bad per se. this is just a heat spreader for all the VRMs. So we're going to get this off to the side here. And you can see we're using basically a big vapor chamber, which then feeds out to 5 heat pipes. So it's definitely very good at getting rid of the heat. Let's go ahead and get this card cleaned up a little bit. Okay, now that I got the die cleaned off, it's actually nice to see only a few of the Vega series actually have all of the silicon chips potted around there and protected. Thankfully, this Radeon 7 is too, so the interposer that's below it is protected. Now, the big problem with these cards is, let me get something really straight. I need to look at something here. Now, again, this is only a $35 pair of calipers. It's fairly flat. It's not like massively precision, but it's close enough. Hopefully the camera can see it. If I lay this down directly on the die itself here, there is a couple thousandths of an inch wiggle there. And basically the center of this is bowing out due to the heat. Now, the bowing itself can be compensated with regular thermal paste. Put it a little bit thicker, we can keep the memory chips a little cooler. But the problem is, there's probably over 2,000 BGA balls underneath this carrier board that attaches it to the main PCB. And what normally happens 90% of the time is those connections underneath here get severed. So what we're going to do is going to get a little janky. We're going to try to reflow it because I don't have the $500 machine that does this type of reflowing, nor do I even have the experience to actually unsolder this whole substrate and re-ball it. So we're going to go jank and see if we can try to reflow it and get lucky. Okay, I'm trying not to disappoint here. I got jank all set up. This is an electric hot plate, and what we're going to do, this is literally just floating about a ½ an inch off of the card itself. We want to use this to preheat the board itself, get a nice heat soak, probably around 150 to 200 C, if we can see on this screen right here. Right now we're only at about 25 C. I have a thermocouple taped over right here. The idea is we're going to take this stuff right here, which is Chip Quick, and this is a no clean liquid flux, like almost water based. We're going to get this all the way underneath here as much as we can. Give it a few minutes for it to soak in before we even turn the heat on. Bring the board up to 200 degrees, and then I'm going to come in here while the board is preheated with my hot air, and we're going to blast the die up to about 300 C, 265 to 300, and try to reflow those BGA beads that are underneath here, and hopefully they'll make a contact again, and we can get this card working. No promises, and I give this maybe a 30% chance of actually working. So let's get on with this. Okay, so we got to cool down. Let's get it cleaned up first. Even though it's said it's no clean flux, I prefer to clean it. So we're just going to douse it and get as much of this cleaner underneath the BGA balls as possible. And then we'll put the heatsink back on. I'm not going to bother repasting it or anything else first. We basically just want to make sure it's cool enough so I can sit it idle and see if we can even see the memory inside HiveOS. So let's get this cleaned up. Okay, so I got just the heatsink mounted up right now because we're not going to mine. We just want to boot it up and see if we can actually see the memory in HiveOS. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, no fans this time, of course, but we are still idling right around 10 watts. So let's give it a few seconds to boot it into Hive and see if we were actually lucky this time or it's just still dead. Okay, we are rebooted, and unfortunately, yep, it's a fail. It still sees the Radeon 7, but does not see the memory, and I cannot do anything else with it. So, sorry, Panda, this is way beyond my limit, so I'm going to make you a coaster. Okay, so fast forward 2 weeks from me pulling off that die in the main board, and I'm not the best at resin because I did make this originally. It was my 2 Vega 56s. I showed that off in the previous video that I basically broke and encased it in the resin. Well, I basically did the same thing for Panda. So here is his Radeon 7, all encased in resin. Definitely a thicker block with the label of who destroyed his card the rest of the way, plus the original label off the back of the Radeon 7. This is going back to Panda as a memento, as his first Radeon 7 ever. He can use it as a coaster, anything to hold down papers, whatever. Panda, thanks for at least letting me have the chance to play with this. Now, I'm keeping the unit itself. I did reassemble it. Of course, not a working model, but it's a great little showpiece because the case is the 50th anniversary edition. So I ended up 3D printing this little thing off of Thingiverse. By the way, thank you, 56. You know who you are, and other people that watch my channel all the time know who he is. He's the one who found this for me on Thingiverse. Printed it out, glued it onto the back of here. Also has 2 pass-throughs because it was a little wobbly until I glued it. Now it's rock solid, and it's a great little display. And it sits right here and shows me what I've never been able to afford and never actually had one actually working. So it's cool. It's great. It's a little showpiece. No big deal whatsoever. Panda, I will get this out in the mail in the next few days of making this video. And you should probably have this by the end of next week, which would put us just in the first week of August 2022. So enjoy, buddy. Thank you very much. So if you made it all the way through the video, thank you very much. Thumbs up, please. It definitely helps. Come say hi down in the Mining Misfits Discord. Link for it will be down in the video description. And I will catch you and Panda on the next video.